Finally. I know I'm running a lot late today. It's been a busy weekend. But I'm hoping that I'm going to be pleasantly surprised with what I make today. Now, what I'm making today, I know people are going to ask what I'm making. And honestly, in all honesty, I have no idea what this is called. I have no idea what this is going to be called. So I'm going to give everybody a minute or two to come in, see what's going on, and then but I'm going to have to get started on this pretty darn quick. So anyway, this thing that I'm gonna try today is something that hey, Tom's Food Factory, what's up, buddy? Hey, if you could hit the like button so I know that everybody can hear me and see me, that would be much great appreciated. Thank you so much. Yeah, so what I'm going to try and do this morning, or afternoon now, morning for some, because I didn't get home until about 2:30, 3 o'clock last night from cooking for a graduation party that was 2 hours away from me. So it's been a busy one, and I completely overslept this morning. But what I'm going to try and make here this morning is I kind of looked up what these might be, but I don't see anything for them. So I don't know if I'm making something up or whatever. Generally what it's called is a bacon dipper. And a bacon dipper is basically just bacon, pancake dipped in bacon, or bacon dipped in pancake batter, however you want to go about it. But either way, today I was going to make this. And then I got up this morning, and then when I got up and I was ready to do this, I realized that I didn't have half the stuff that I needed to make this. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bacon dipper, but I'm going to dip the bacon in fresh raspberries and fresh rhubarb sauce. We're going to dip the bacon in that, and then we're going to bake it. Then we're going to do it into the bacon. So, or then we're going to do it into the pancake batter. And hopefully this turns out without deep frying it. I would imagine that the best way for this to turn out would be to deep fry it, but I don't think that's exactly what is going to happen. You've never heard of a bacon dipper? Yeah, it's a thing, but I'm going to try and dress this up. I'm going to try and dress this up just a little bit. Jaishil Patel, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to make I'm going to put my own spin on what's called a bacon dipper. So do me a favor, hit the like button, Jaishil Patel, and hit the subscribe button if you want to come back we do content like this all the time. I haven't seen you before, so if you can do that for me, that'd be great. But what I want to do is I want to get started on this because I got a feeling that the sauce is going to take a little bit. That's going to be the longest part. And everything else I can kind of go around that. Jaishil, is that right? Am I saying it right? Very cool. Where are you in from? You're stopping into my kitchen this morning to have breakfast. And where are you at today? Let's see. Firstly, bro, I am from India. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I've never been to India. Let's see. So we're gonna get our stuff diced up. Now what I've got is freshly picked rhubarb that we're gonna cut up real fine. We're gonna dice that up and get that going. And get that in there. This should be fairly simple sauce. We're just going to dice these up roughly. There we go. It's kind of hard to work with. Rhubarb's one of those that's kind of hard to kind of work with because it has a really weird shape. and it likes to rock around. So, and these can be, this doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to get done. Let's see. Show me your face. You show me yours. What's up, Rick? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, JC, I'll show you my face when you show me yours. Let me see. Is Cynthia in? Is Cynthia Wesley around today? I know a lot of people are probably doing the graduation thing like I did yesterday, which was overwhelming. Overall, it was a big success. It was just, I had to travel 2 hours to do it. That was the big part of, that was the only bad part of it for me. And I got to play around. I've never owned a Blackstone, and I've never used one. And we were cooking I was cooking at at Ming's aunt's house, and she had a Blackstone. So I got to play around with the Blackstone all day yesterday, make burgers and dogs and all the other stuff that I made. So that was the thing. I didn't get done there till about 9:30 or so. And then we had to pack up and head back, and that was almost a 2-hour drive. Honey, you're skipping church? It's 1:30 here. It's 1:30 here. Normally, I woke up this morning at 8. I went to bed last night about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and my time, and I had my alarm set for 8:30, and because there's a few shows on Sunday mornings that I do watch, believe it or not, and so what we're gonna do with this, I've already got my butter melted right here. This is just a tablespoon of butter. And I'm gonna go with a 1/2 cup of the rhubarb, which that's just about 1/2 cup right there. Okay, so I'll set that back into the thing, and I'll put that on my salad or something tonight. Let's see. Your arm is great. Thank you. Thank you. I've been lifting. It may not look like it, but I've been lifting. So I appreciate that. Let's see. So then I got just a few strawberries. We're gonna dice up really, really quick. And it did, like I said, these are gonna be cooked down. And then hopefully they cook down fairly quick. But there's not a whole heck of a lot in this. And honestly, when I was thinking about this, I had sort of like dreamed. I kind of had a dream that about these. It was kind of I was actually having like a food dream about jelly-filled pancakes, kind of like an apple skeever. And Beagle, what are you doing? The neighbor kids are all going. We're having, besides everything else going on today, when I got back from the store because I had no eggs, it's the town festival, so they had a big parade. I had to wait for the parade to go through town too. And so everybody's out and about today in town, which is pretty cool. Our town festival is pretty nice. I don't know what they call it. You know, all small towns in America, they have their little summertime days or whatever. They call it something. I don't know what this one's called. But like I said, I've only lived here like 4 years. So I'm still, even though I've worked here for a long time, I just moved here not too long ago. So I'm gonna try and I'm gonna need about one more strawberry for this. So we've got what? 3, 4 strawberries at the most. Let's see, Fuzzfork, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Where am I from, Jay Shill? I am from America. This is coming out of America. I'm from the Midwest. Midwest part, around the Great Lakes. What time is it where you're at right now? India's a big country. It has a lot of time zones. There we go. Glad Val's not watching right now. She'd be nervous. She would be really nervous. Haram. Hi. Said hi. Hello. Hello, Haram. Good to see you. Let's see. So I think that's, let me look at that. So we've got about a cup of fruit. Now my pancake recipe is pretty much a standard pancake recipe. But I wanted to, I was going to do, I was going to use self-rising flour, but I didn't want it to be so fluffy. I want fluffy, but I wanted it to not be so light. I wanted it to be more of a more durable mix. So I did that. So we're going to take that and we're going to add just a little bit of water. I'm going to say about about a tablespoon of water to this. Over here to this, over here. About a tablespoon of water into here. There we go. About a tablespoon. Set that off to the side and we're going to put that in here. And I'm going to turn this up pretty high, but I'm not done yet. And all I'm going to do is add a teaspoon. We're going to go with teaspoons because I don't know how sugary this is going to need to be. Oop, dropped it. Let's see. Can you guys see that okay? Yeah, you can see it okay. So about a teaspoon, maybe two. About 2 teaspoons of sugar. And that's going to be it. I don't want to add any butter or oil to that. And I am going to add some I'm going to add a little bit of nutmeg to that. Jake, happy Sunday, buddy. What's up? How are you? If you want to be fat, Jake, you came to the right channel because that's exactly what I do here. I've said it many times before and I will say it many more times. 4 out of 5 doctors recommend that you do not watch this channel at any time. So we've got that there. We're going to turn that up. We're going to put that on a medium heat. Number 5 if you're cooking on an electric stove. And hopefully this doesn't burn. But I'm going to need that to go, and then I'm going to put this, I'm going to put a little bit of nutmeg in here as well. So, and just a little bit of nutmeg, sprinkle on top. Just some of that. Just a smidge. I'm a big fan of nutmeg, so I'm not too worried about it. How much I put in there? I can never it would be really hard for me to over nutmeg. There's nobody, everybody's leaving. You don't have to patrol everybody. The dog thinks she's on patrol here. Then I'm going to drop for a little bit of kick. I've got some fresh ground clove. Some ground clove. Then I'm going to drop in there. And this is ground right from the clove itself. So I don't want a whole lot of, there we go. Just a smidge of that, because that clove's really strong. So we've got that in there. Where can I find a whole nutmeg? I don't want pre-ground. You know, you can go, I do so much shopping down in Jungle Gyms outside of Cincinnati. That's where I get stuff like that. That's exactly where I go. I go a lot to Jungle Gyms for things, for those kind of things. Oh, that was my butter. Put my butter in there. Oh my gosh, I put my butter in there. Oh well, it'll be fine. I didn't really want to put the butter in there, but I accidentally put about half tablespoon of butter into there. How about a farmer's market? Yeah, farmer's markets. I don't see a lot of that kind of stuff at farmer's markets, but that's a good idea, Jake. Let's see. I've been hearing for years it tastes good, probably. Yeah, and you want to get the microplaner. I mean, I have a lot of my buddies, they make fun of me for using the ground, because a lot of my friends are Townsend's fans. I don't know if you guys watch Townsend's, but Townsend's is kind of a back in the 1800s kind of recreation channel, and they do a lot of that kind of stuff. But you're in a pretty big city. You're in a pretty big city, Tom. I'm sure you can find that if you really look. And don't worry, Cynthia, I've got the silicone. We won't be using any metal in here to give you the scraping noise. But yeah, it's not going to be over sugary as far as sugar. It shouldn't be too sweet, but that's what the strawberry's job is. So we'll kind of move those. I'm going to leave that sit in there while we mix up the pancake batter. So I'm going to have to get another a little bit more butter, since I used that melted butter in there. Which that's not going to make a big deal, because there was just about half a tablespoon of butter in there anyway. But the only thing that sucks is I got to open another thing of butter. Yeah. Spice World Whole Foods. There you go. Yeah, I love Townsend's too. I watch it all the time. I like the lives. And you know, Tom, they don't do that very far from where I am. It's only about an hour and it's only about an hour and 20 minutes, I think, for me, at the most. So this is for the pancake batter. But yeah, that's all there is. So that's it. So I've got another tablespoon of butter. Yeah, check Whole Foods, man. That's that might not be a bad deal for you. But you're in such a big city, though. I would think that you could score some nutmeg where you're at. So I've got that simmering here. Get a good bubble on that, because we want this to go all the way down as much as possible. And if I have to add just a little more, because I want it to cook down. I want this to be almost like a like a filling. Like the filling. So keep that stirring around. But I'm just gonna pop this into the microwave because I want my butter to be melted when I do my pancake mix. Which one of these days I'm gonna quit being such a stickler for stuff and just buy pancake mix. But pancake mixes just seem so easy to make. I just don't, and I can make it in such a small batch. My son got one of their cookbooks and planning on trying some of the recipes this summer. Yeah, Townsend's recipes are cool, especially if you can pull off like some of the stuff. One of the things I've been wanting to go, because I want one of those, and this sounds silly, but I want one of their coffee warmers. Like it's basically a wrought iron stick, and then you just set it on your stove, and then you just lay it into your coffee. Because I'm all the time like letting my coffee sit and get cold. Let that pop into the microwave for just a little bit longer. But I want this to be mushy. Is that good? Another. But I want that to mush down. And it would have been ultimately, if I had more room right here, I probably just would have thrown this into the blender and done it, but it is what it is. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I don't want it to, I guess I want it more like a jam than I do anything else. And the other thing is, I was thinking about it, I thought maybe it might be cool to do it as like in a corn stick pan. I thought that might be pretty rad, but that'll be another day. Because at this point in the day, for me, it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I haven't had breakfast yet, so we're gonna do this way. But yeah, I hope, congratulations to all the grads out there having their grad parties. This should be about the end of graduation, and hopefully the graduation parties. I know everybody everybody that showed up to ours was on some, or not everybody, but a lot of the people that showed up to mine or my daughter's graduation party yesterday, some people were on their third graduation party, and they were just trying to pick ours was kind of the ones where I think they were trying to end up because people were having beers and stuff at ours, and so I think that sometimes they plan to do the ones where it's kind of a little more formal. They do those, and then they go to the fun ones, the less uptight ones toward the end. So yeah, so if you guys can see that okay, I don't know how well you can see how that's coming along. At the end of those reenactment mountain things, good stuff, yeah. Vel's got church, yeah. It's Sunday for her, so she's doing her stuff. Can you guys see that all right? There we go, put that down a little bit better. But I'm just gonna set that, I don't wanna scorch it, but I want this thing to, I'm not gonna put it down too much. It smells really good. It smells like, it smells like the apple crisp, or the strawberry crisp we made the other day. Strawberry rhubarb crisp. That's exactly what it smells like. That nutmeg. Oh, and I forgot the black pepper. I forgot black pepper, my bad. So, yeah, and the black pepper. If you're gonna use spices, use the black pepper. It makes it pop. Doesn't take much, just a couple grinds. Let's see, Buzz, did you know Dubs was crowned Miss Bayou Hater Stew Queen? That sounds like quite an honor. So that has gotten to where that is, which is pretty cool. I'll take that. I'll even take that consistency if you guys can see that okay. We'll take that consistency of it and we'll turn it down and just let that simmer with the lid on. Put the lid onto that. Because that's what I want. And it's going to break down. The one nice thing about working with rhubarb is if you want to heat it up or make jelly or jam or anything like that with rhubarb, it breaks down really well. And the strawberry mix is, those were fresh strawberries. So they're nice and full of water too. So we'll put the lid onto that and keep the moisture in there. And then we'll come over to here and we'll put together the pancake mix. And normally there's my pancake mix, if you guys can see that okay. But normally I'm gonna do half this because I don't want all those pancakes. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm only gonna do like 4 or 5 dippers. I'm only gonna do like 4 or 5. Maybe 6, maybe 3 pieces of bacon cut in half. So it's, because it's going to be pretty filling, so. Let me see, can you guys see all right? Yeah, I think you guys can see okay. So we're just going to pop this right up here. Pop that onto there. So I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. 1/2 cup. Finely sifted, of course, because, I do everything by the book. So there's that. So there's a 1/2 cup of flour. I know I'm going to add full of something. And then 1 tablespoon of sugar. And this has got to sit too. So we'll let this sit off to the side. I'll let that sit off to the side. So a tablespoon of sugar. A teaspoon of baking powder that I just got, because I think my stuff wasn't rising, my bread wasn't rising, and I used a little bit of baking powder in there, and I think it's because my baking powder was dead. So they can do that. Rick D, why were we discussing getting tip from summer from gator meat? I told him, don't bring it. Don't bring it. So then we do a teaspoon of this baking soda. And we're gonna do I don't need that much salt, so we're just gonna do, it says, the recipe calls for a half teaspoon of salt, so I'm gonna say that's about a quarter of a teaspoon. And then I need milk, which I'm gonna get out of the refrigerator, because I'm not gonna have, it's too late in the day for me to have coffee. I've already switched over to Red Bull and milk. Regular drinks. It's too late in the day for coffee for me. I usually stop coffee about 1 o'clock. That way I can have some semblance of, I don't want it to interact with my Red Bull, which are sugar-free, by the way. Let me see. So how much milk do we got? So we want a half a cup of milk. Let me see here. Half cup of milk. I've got a tablespoon of butter already in there. I'm gonna do, let's see. We already got one. It calls for 2 tablespoons of butter, but I'm only gonna use 1 of the butter. The only thing I'm gonna use full of is the egg. So then I've got 1 tablespoon of, I got a half tablespoon of oil. So let me grab that. And I'm just gonna rough that one. I don't want to overdo, because I don't want to overdo with the oil either, because I want everything to be able to stick to everything. So just a little bit of oil in there. Set the oil off to the side. And the egg, I'm gonna go whole egg on this, because I want a big fluff out of this whole thing. So I'm gonna go with the whole egg anyway, because that's usually what I just put in there. Let me see. Baking powder. There is no baking soda. I thought there was baking soda in this recipe, but there isn't. So anyway. So I'm gonna whisk that up. I'm just gonna use a fork to do that. Rusty, what's up, buddy? I just finished rebuilding the inside. Yeah, man, I slept late today. I woke up at 8:30 and I woke back up at 10:15. Let's see. Rusty, I got a Weber grill today. And it is super, super gaudy. It's a super gaudy one too. I did get a Weber 22-inch grill today. About an hour ago. I did pick that up while I was out. So, just gonna get that. Let this go. What's that? Oh, there's still a strawberry in there. But I haven't used many dishes to do this. This has not made a bunch of dishes. And we're gonna have to let this sit at least 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna make the bacon while we're doing that, and then we'll get the bacon crisped up. Let me check the, I wanna do let's see how our, yeah, that's plenty heat. I'm gonna actually turn that down to lower than simmer for the, come back over here for a second. Well, let me finish doing this real quick. Oh, that's just a strawberry piece. Well, we got a nice golden batter here. If I can get all the stuff to munch up in there. Let's see, I live out in the country, never used a grill, just open fire. Yeah, I have fire pits out in the back, but I live about, I'm 50 yards before the end of the city limits, so I kind of have to do some things that they want me to do. Like, I can't have chickens. I wanted some chickens, but I'm not allowed to have chickens. City ordinance. But there's other silly stuff that I can have, and I'd have to look into it some more. But there's like some silly stuff that I can have. Like, I can't have a goat and I can't have chickens, But there's other stuff that you can have, which would be, um, like up where Ming lives, she has a domesticated, like they have really weird rules here. Like this was something I just found out about too. Like you can have meat rabbits outside, but if your rabbit is a domesticated breed rabbit, you can't have it outside. I guess probably because they don't want it to be evasive. So they have little rules like that. What is that? Not crunching. Or is that just pieces? Oh, that's just pieces of rhubarb. That's just little pieces of rhubarb in there. Okay. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so we're going to let that... I'm going to thicken that up just a smidge more. I'll add just a little bit more flour to that. About a tablespoon more of flour. Because I want this to be really thick flour. Or thick batter. Let's see here. Quite possibly even a little bit more. Might do another tablespoon of flour in there. And this is just all-purpose flour, nothing, no self-rising, none of that. Which I would like to make some. I do have self-rising flour, but I got that for. I'm gonna do biscuits. I want to do the 2-ingredient biscuit. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's looking. That consistency's a little better. Plus, it's gonna sit. We're gonna get all that good stuff in there. Let's see, Ricky. Everybody knows I snitched. Corey's an undercover undercover son. Is Corey Clark in here? I have not. I was wondering if Corey would show up today. There we go. Okay. So that's gonna sit off to the side for just about 10 minutes. You don't want to go hog wild into that thing right off the rip. Okay, so we got that. So I'm going to turn this up and we're going to get our bacon going. Got the old Lodge. Got the Lodge back there. The Lodge, the 9-inch round griddle, my go-to for just about everything. So we've got that. You're giving Corey grief and he's not even here? Okay, so let me check this. Let's check this, make sure it didn't burn. But that thickened up, if you guys can see that, hopefully, that's real thick. And that's what I wanted. I'm wanting real thick. And I want it to stay in my little pan there. The old Descoware. So we'll set that off to the side there. And I'll wipe that off right quick. Work clean. Let's see that. Okay. I'm gonna turn the heat off of that. I'm gonna get our. You hear that dog? You hear the dog? She is going crazy. Corey is banned by anyone. Was Corey banned by anybody? No, I don't think so. I hope not. But anyway, let me glove up and I'm gonna grab some bacon. We're gonna do a few strips of bacon and cut that up, and then we're about at second base on this thing right now. So far. I look to get banned shortly. You know, I've had to. I was. You know, speaking of which, I noticed when I go back through and watch the lives and read the questions, sometimes YouTube will censor questions or comments, but I don't do it. I go back through and I allow them. So if you ever find something that's been banned, it's not banned by me, it's banned by YouTube. So that's just what that is. Nothing I can do about that. But I go back and I unban them. So because I'm that kind of rebel. So let me see here. Let me grab my bacon. I got some nice thick cut bacon here. And I've left it in the refrigerator because I don't want it to get, You know how bacon, if you let it sit out, it kind of gets a little bit, starts getting, the fat starts to kind of rise out of it. I didn't want that, so let's see, we got about 3 pieces of bacon. So we'll just take that and slice that down the middle. That's how I get my uniformity. Do that. And we'll bring that over here to over here so we can see the sizzle. That's my camera. Do my camera around. There we go. Biggs, you'll get a piece of bacon in a minute. Biggs is over here stalking bacon. She had a big old pig femur bone to work while I was at, because she had to stay in her pen while I was away yesterday. And for those of you out there that know what pens are, my dog doesn't have one of those teeny tiny pens. My dog's 20 pounds and she's in a pen that you could put 2 bull mastiffs, put 2 Great Danes in at least. So and it's in the garage. And she was able to watch television. She was able to watch TV in the garage all day. She watched YouTube. She has her channels. She has her wildlife channels. She has a playlist. A little bacon on there, just to keep it honest. Let's see. All right. Well, we'll just take a second here and ask everybody to hit the like button if you could. Help me with that algorithm so I can get this in front of people, so they can subscribe, so I can get to that magic 500 mark that I'm looking for. So if you're out there and you're not logged into the chat, please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 500 in the worst way. And then after that, we'll worry about what's after that. So anyhow, but the like button is the most important thing for right now. So yeah, this has gotten down to, we'll bring you guys in a little bit closer into there. Yeah, and I want the bacon to be crispy, but it's gotta be the right texture. But this has turned down to be this sauce is going to be pretty nice. I'm thinking this is going to work. And for those that maybe missed the beginning, what I'm trying to do is I'm doing what's called a bacon dipper. And a bacon dipper is where you take bacon, then you dip it into pancake batter, and then you make your pancake. But what I'm trying to do is what I want to do is I want to fry the bacon up. I want to get the bacon a good fry, and then pat that dry. Then I want to put it into the sauce, and then put it into the pancake batter, sort of like a jelly-filled bacon dipper, sort of. Does that make any sense? Let's see, big fan. Cynthia, yeah, Cynthia, I have about 30 shorts, I think. Is that what we're talking about, video shorts? Because I'm wearing shorts. Yeah, I have like, I think 30 or so of shorts, all kinds of them. Yeah, and you know, that's one thing I have noticed, that a lot of folks that tune into the live channel a lot don't realize that I have tons of other videos out there. They come in for the lives and they don't realize that I have all these other videos out there. There's a lot. I mean, I think we're pushing about 80 videos total, and only about half of them are live streams. So yeah, I just kind of assumed that people always, you know, if they came here for the lives, they probably came here because they watched the videos. But you know, I guess that's not the case. So once again, if you haven't watched the videos, there's probably 10 history educational videos, and then and the rest are shorts, and then the rest are live streams. So, hey, Handsome Stone, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you. No one knew that, honey. Had the other skills like milking chicken. Yeah, I used to be pretty good at harvesting chickens. I used to be real good at that when I was young, when I was a kid. When we would clean our own chickens. Let's see, what kind of spatulas do I got laying around? That's the other thing. I got about half my stuff still needs to be cleaned from everything. I don't know if I want to use, you would use the metal one. Use the metal one. Because all my spatulas are from yesterday. They need to be cleaned up. I just unloaded into the garage last night. This might be a good day to break out one of the presses. Yeah, I think these presses are going to be in order. This bacon is not one to play ball. Not one to play ball today. Well, we got cures for all kinds of stuff around here. That one's definitely gonna need it. Or that might be the Beagle's piece. If it doesn't want to flatten out too well, that might be one for the Beags. The rest of these are staying okay. I like my other spatula. Let's see, we'll do it that way. There we go. And there we go. It's not turning out too bad. That one's kind of being a little uneven to cook. Move these down into the grease. Let them get caught up. Move those flat ones there. Let them do their thing. If they don't want to play ball better than that, I'm not above smashing them down. But I don't want it to be, this is about the consistency I want them. I don't want it to be so crispy that they break when I pick them back up after they've cooled. So let me grab one of the boats here. Let's see here. These off to the side, that off to the side. This one here. This one here. This one here. There we go. Yeah, it's getting a little better. Like I said, I'm not going to make a ton of them because this is just for me. But Ming's showing up here today with her sister, I think. I think two of my daughters are going to show up today at some point, but I'm not sure. Let's see. That's cool. Didn't mean to over message you. Oh, that must be somebody else. They're trying to dodge the devil like Ricky. Rick. Poor Rick. Poor Rick. Okay, so that one's done. About as much as I need it to be done. Because like I said, I want them to not be chewy, but I want them to have a little bit of play too. I got a feeling that I'm onto something with this. Now this is just the initial version of these bacon dippers with bacon with rhubarb strawberry sauce on them, but I'm thinking that I'm onto something. It might have just been a fever. Maybe I had a fever overnight and I'm just having a fever dream. But I really, I've been dreaming this up, and so hopefully it works out. Hopefully it works out. Let's see here. Sure there's not much bits on here. So I'm gonna have to sop up some of that. I'm just gonna do those. I'm just gonna do the pancakes, I think, right on in this same pan. But I'm gonna sop up some of that gravy with or sop up some of that grease with a couple paper towels. And I've got tons of these boats. I bought these boats for the party, so I've got a myriad of them laying around here. We got more than CEOs. I might miss Sunday here and there. That's all right, man. I understand. You know, Sunday thing is important. We used to go a lot more when the kids were there. I just don't. I'm in a community where I don't know many people, and that's probably a good excuse to get to church and get to meet some folks. But I haven't done it. And there's not many of my churches in the area, to be honest with you. I have to really travel to get to churches. Not like, I mean, it's nothing unusual, not an unusual religion or anything. There's just not many of them here in this area. Let's see, any attenders that you can't go here. Fuzz. Let me see. Compared to us, you're a saint. Ooh. All right, let me see if I can't get a little bit more of this bacon grease up in the corner here. It's so hot, even my rags are. But I didn't need all that. I didn't need all that grease on there. That's gonna. Let's see here. Plus, I still wanted to throw. I want to give it a little bit of butter flavor too. Do a little butter flavor on there. Make sure we get all the crumbles off. One side. And I'm going to keep that at 3. It's just kind of running on me. There we go. I think we're on to something with that. Okay. So we've got this. Get this out of the way because I don't need that anymore. Save that for my for my fire pit. Those greasy rags start my fire pit tonight. Okay, so I got that. Got this. But it is making some kind of a mess, I'll tell you that. It is definitely making a mess. And get a little butter on there. Just a little bit. I want that buttery flavor. There we go. I always like that. I always like working with butter when I'm working with pancakes. A little easier. So let me glove up here. I think we're about ready to do this pretty much. Let me get the lid off of this one. Get the lid off to that, and we'll set that to the side for now. And I'll get out a little syrup. Because I was going to do the sauce. I'm going to try and do the sauce on top, but in case I don't, I do have a little bit of blueberry syrup here we're going to use to get everything taken care of. Let's see, I don't have Ricky's email. Let me see. Caught up, everybody's doing church stuff. That's cool. Which is cool. What are you after now? I'll swing around here and give you some beak scam. Give me a little beak scam. This is what this dog's doing today. She's patrolling everybody. She's totally on point. She's into everybody's business. There's probably a squirrel. Look at her twitch. This dog is like ready to go. If I opened this door right now, I would never see that dog again. That dog would chase whatever it is to the ends of the earth, and then to the point where she probably couldn't find her way back home. But let me see here. Let's get her pancake batter a little stir, and do this up. Okay, I need my tongs back. And I think that should be hot, still hot enough to keep going. Yeah, the beaks. You see your fans were wanting, they were needing a little beagle. So we're gonna put the bacon down into here, and we're gonna coat that into the sauce. There we go. Gonna coat those in there. And then I might put this into a little mixing bowl. I think I'm gonna throw that batter into a mixing bowl right quick. That'll be a little easier for me. Well, let a couple of those hang out in there. And mix that up. Give it a taste. Oh, that's real nice. That sauce is really nice, just the way it is. It's real fresh tasting. Real fresh. It's got a really, really nice fresh flavor to it. Let me pour that pancake batter into a bowl over that way. I'll move that off to the side, but I want to make sure I get it good and candied over. It's almost like a candy. I guess it'd be almost like a candied bacon dipper. And we'll just dip that into there. And then pour some batter on that. There we go. And see how this works out. See what happens. That's messy. That's messy. It is messy. I'm gonna separate those over. Okay. We'll get another one ready to go. Put that over into the batter. I'd say it's probably done. Say it's probably done. There we go. Plate with a little side on it. Put that over. See how that? Ah, there we go. And then we'll take the next one and throw that on there. I'll set this one off to the side, let it settle up a little bit. Batter on there. Do one more. Might have to work on this one a little bit, but I'm thinking I'm onto something with this recipe. Kind of like almost like a stuffed pancake, but we'll work on the amounts. But I just had this idea to do this, and I wanted to see what would all happen with it. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes out. Get some sauce. Get some syrup out. Get some blueberry syrup. Running out of room. Got a bit of blueberry sauce over here that we'll try out. I think we're about done with. I think we're about done with these. make a batch up. I am going to try one just dipped and see how that comes out. See how that works. They're looking pretty decent. But like I said, then I'm going to try one just dipped. There we go. The sauce on there. And I'm going to batter that one up. I'm going to try just doing it that way into the batter. We'll see how that one looks. We might not need to pour it over there, because it's almost like a stuffed pancake. Let's see how that one comes out. See what's going on. There we go. Kind of dark from that bacon. We'll give that. Come here, Beagle. You want a piece of bacon? Come over here. Go and get in your spot. Ready? Spin. There we go. One spin. Loves it. Absolutely loves it. And can you speak? Speak? Arf. There you go. Good job. All right, beat it, kid. Beat it, Beagle. You're done. Let's see how that turned out. I don't know. I think I might have liked it better the other way. Like I said, I just wanted to try this. I wanted to just get this recipe out of my head, or not, and see what happens. But success, fail, I don't know. But at the same time, I just wanted to give it a try, and I think these other things are going to be pretty good. And I'm going to try those out here in just a second. Turn my stuff off and go from there. Let's see. We just had 2 black bear sightings 2.5 miles away. Ooh, don't eat that stuff. Don't eat them black bears, they're gross. Got all kinds of things in them. That does a little more longer. Come over and check these out. See what happens with all these. Oh, I gave it a little smush. That might help. But yeah, I think we ended up with just more of a stuffed pancake than we did anything else. Let's try it. Blueberry syrup. Wow, the flavor's there. The flavor with the sauce on it is really, really good. The flavor's right, but now see this one, I'll bring this one over. That one is a little more what I was after, but I didn't want it to, that's a little bit more what I was after, I think. That one there at the top. I just ate that last piece of bacon. But I mean, even as a stuffed pancake, I think they look like a face profile. Oh, this one here, right there. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Mercy B, how are you doing? Bacon around here is still cheaper than hamburger. Pork where I'm at right now, Fuzz, is crazy cheap. I'm gonna try this while it's still hot. Now this one was just dipped in there and I didn't go back over it on top of it. I don't know. This might have been something. Yeah, I don't know. I think what I did was just make stuffed pancakes with sauce on them. That seems to be more of what this is. But they're still really good. I mean, if you want to put bacon inside your pancakes with some sauce on them, it's tasty. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of made the bacon or the pancake batter in the center smushy. So I don't know. I think this is, if you can see it on the inside there, the batter right there, it was too, it was too runny and too acidic the, um, for the batter to stick, to cook up right. So I think maybe, just maybe, this isn't, it might have worked good if I would have deep fried it. But I don't think, as far as just making them in a pan, I don't think might be something I play around with. But I don't think overall that this is it's not what I had in mind. For sure. Yeah, I don't even know. But I will say it goes good with a big glass of milk to wash it down. Thanks, Mercy B. It just didn't have it's not got the consistency that I'm looking for. It's real, like, it's still the sauce that I used, which that's a really good sauce. And the idea was there, but it just didn't, the flavor profile is good. It's that the consistency just didn't come out with what I was looking after. I was more thinking like a nugget, like a chicken nugget almost, or like a bacon stick, but yeah, this just wasn't. There you go. You want the rest of that big? Yeah. Yeah, this wasn't what I was after. Let's see. Let me get caught up on the rest of this. I might just make I think I'm just gonna make a pancake with the rest of it. I think I'm gonna turn the heat back on and make a pancake with the rest of the batter. Because I'm still kind of hungry, but let's see. Let's see. I measured twice, but math was wrong. Oh, are you building something, Handsome Stone? Looking forward to it. My left side is the better side. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna make pancakes with the rest, and maybe put the syrup. Maybe I'll put the syrup on top of there. That might be something. Put the rest of the sauce on there. See how that is. But yeah, overall that was kind of a bust. That wasn't at all what I had in mind. Not even close. Grab a little bit more butter. I'm gonna do one pancake. And then I think we're gonna call it quits. Where's that butter I had? There it is. There we go. Put our butter back. Make one big fat pancake. We'll use up the rest of that sauce. It might be just good with the sauce on it, and that's going to be about the end of it, to be honest. Let's go back over here. Go back over that way. I'll move the camera here in a second. Just gonna make one big fat pancake. Add that sauce to it and see what happens. One big old flat. The batter's got like little pieces of strawberry and rhubarb in it, so we might not have had a total bust on that. If I can get it flipped. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I'll get you back up where you need to be. There we go. But yeah, let's do a flapjack. Call it, and then we'll write this episode of Cast Iron in Real Life off the books. Get a bigger plate. There we go. The Beagle didn't think it was a total loss though. I hear her. Yeah, she's sitting here. She's right down here. She's right down here waiting for something else. Aren't you? Plus I was gone all day yesterday. And you thought I was shipwrecked on Gilligan's Island by the time I got home, and all day today I can't turn around without. When I got up this morning and got a shower, I looked over and she was in there. She had her head. She was peeking in through the curtain to make sure that I wasn't going anywhere. She was all about that stuff. Let's see. Well, I guess we're all done. Yeah, I'm gonna make this pancake. I'm gonna let the cameras roll till I get the pancake done, and then yeah, I'll be out of here. But anyway, I'm not sure what we're gonna do this week on Thursday yet. I'm still thinking about it. I've been concentrating on that graduation party all the past 2 weeks, so now we can get down to back to some different kind of cooking. Get back to it. Like I said, not sure what we're going to do for Thursday, but I'm sure it'll be something fun. I'm sure it'll be something good. And I am going to break out some different cast iron this week too, so that's going to be another thing that we're going to be doing. For sure. Definitely going to be breaking out some different cast iron. And I've got a few things out in the garage that are going to be done this week. That some of them are kind of rarities, some are not. But I want to get them into the collection this week, and I've got a few pieces of cast iron coming this week. So some new stuff. So there'll be some unboxing at some point. I've got a couple pieces that I really want to try that are on their way. So there is that to look forward to. I've got, like I said, some unboxing. I've got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of pieces coming. That's for sure. I've been working pretty hard on all that. There we go. There we go. Get that flipped. That was a pretty big one. Pretty good sized. Nicely sized, as they say. It's a good size to it. Graduate party at McDonald's Kitty Park. Yeah, I'm telling you what, I would have rather. It was fun and all, but it was just one of those things where, it was a good party, but it was for my daughter's mom's side of the family. That was at their, so it was like I was like cooking on, I definitely didn't have home field advantage while I was there. I really didn't know very many people there because they were kind of extended family. And plus I haven't seen a lot of them in like 10, 7, 8 years. So people change as well. So it was, like I said, I definitely wasn't playing on home court at all. Let's see how this one's doing. Let that brown up just a little bit more. You waiting on a bite, Biggs? I bet. Grimace and Cookie Burger gonna be there. Cookie Burger. Mary McCheese. Mary McCheese. I remember Mary McCheese. I remember Grimace. And then they had the duck or the chicken girl for a while that like flew. She was wearing like the aviator outfit. The Hamburglar. Yeah. But honey, you bet they all knew and heard about you. Oh, I'm sure they did. And the funny thing is I was there cooking, and there were like some guys there. I used to do construction work and with a couple of my daughter's uncles, and I was there. They were there for about an hour. They didn't even recognize me. There we go. That's looking a little better. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, they definitely knew all about me though, but I hadn't seen any of them, and they're all nice people. I have nothing, you know. That's the thing. I mean, I never had a problem with it. I never had a problem with them at all. None of them. They're all pretty nice guys. Let's see. Let's get this over here. Put that sauce on there. Give this a go. This might be just something. The sauce was not bad, so I can't complain about the sauce too much, if at all. And I'll take this and put that on top of there, because this sauce was actually really good. It just didn't work out for a bacon dipper. So we've got this rhubarb strawberry sauce on top of there. It's still pretty hot, and a little bit of blueberry just to keep things honest. There we go. All right. Give that a dang quart, see how that tastes. See how that tastes. It was kind of nice. I didn't even actually use a fork for any of this up to this point. But I do want to try that sauce just by itself. That's real good. That's real good. That's really good. Yeah, not too bad. But it definitely, there's something about all the citrus in it, citric acid maybe, but it turns those pancakes right into mush. Yeah, I don't like the consistency of it. So anyway, we'll write this one off the books. Played around with some pancake batter and bacon. That's not a bad one, but anyway, appreciate everybody being here. Pat Z, Rick Stunball, Mercy B, Cynthia Wesley, and the folks that popped in at the very beginning for a couple minutes to see. I guess they'd never heard of pancakes or bacon before, so hopefully if you folks are out there, hit the like button, subscribe. Always good. Fuzz Fork 8, good to see you this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. I hope it's as nice for you in your part of the state as it is in mine. And I only cook soft stuff that my plastic silverware can cut, right? Get you. And everybody else that showed up today, Handsome Stone, thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. I'm going to clean this up real quick, and I'm going to go mow my grass. Clean up the rest of my mess from yesterday. All right. Remember, it's your kitchen. It's your restaurant. You make it any way you want. And I'll see you guys in the comment section later. See ya.